Hello and welcome to another episode of What Do You Call It? Podcast. I'm your host, GB. Today's guest is based in Liverpool. We'll be talking about that quickly, just because at the time of recording, Liverpool did beat my favourite team, obviously not Tottenham, 4-3. Happy days. Glitter Fiend and a member of my favourite stable, the Violent Gentleman Society. Whoop, whoop. Please give up for Stacey Rose. How you doing today? You all right?
I'm all right, yeah, representing the brand.
But because it's VGS, I'm more than happy to promote the brand and the merchandise. Some sweet merchandise, by the way.
Oh, thanks very much.
Congratulations to you, by the way, getting your first t-shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Um, yeah, we've decided to release some solo shirts very soon. So yeah, keep an eye out for the date for those dropping. It will be soon.
Who does the designs, by the way? So I will talk about your career and stuff, but I'm just quite curious because the branding is really good.
It's actually Casey Payne.
Really? Oh, you might have mentioned that in the last interview, actually. If you did, mate, I'm sorry. Memory like a goldfish.
Yeah, he literally I mean he's good at graphic design anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think he works a lot of night shifts. I think he just gets bored and starts that's how we've ended up with so many designs is because they just keep coming. Like I'd like to crawl inside his head and just
Yeah.
see how he comes up with stuff because
So
there's always
good.
something new. It's so good.
It is awesome. It's awesome. I see it and he'll reach out to me like just to make me aware. And it's really cool. I'd recommend it. I will promote the website as well, where people can not merchant, purchase that
Yeah,
awesome sweet merchandise. Awesome, awesome. How's your bank holiday weekend been, by the way?
it's been all right. Yeah. I actually live on the Wirral side of the water. Popped over to Liverpool today. Yeah, it was a nice day. Yeah.
Nice, nice. I'm a little
How
bit
about yourself?
self-inflicted, so I'm a bit tired at the moment, but yeah. But in general, I'm good. I'm pretty happy. I can't really complain. So there's an event coming up very shortly. It is
Hmm.
the Violent Gentleman Society celebration. Welcome input, as he
Yeah.
did join. At the time of call, when I spoke to him, he was literally against VGS, and now he's a member. But
Yeah.
I want to know what have you got lined up for this party, and what can those in attendance expect?
I think it's going to be a celebration of us as a faction,
Yep.
of obviously welcoming Pud into VGS. He's obviously made the absolute right decision to join his brother. Um, yeah, and I think it's just going to be a party. I think that's what people could expect.
What kind of cake? I did ask on Twitter. You may have shut me down though, but I was told I'm an honorary member.
Ooh, I don't know. It'll have to be a good one though. I'm a big fan of cake, so it'll have to be a good one.
Nice, nice. I'm looking forward to seeing it when it's on Wrestle Island's account, and I'll be there in spirit. But that's awesome. Let's talk about yourself, uh, Stacey Rose. I want to know what actually got you into wrestling in the first place. What made you a fan?
Just before I get into that, just to go back to the original point, that celebration will actually be
Oh,
taking place at Infamous.
Infamous. My bad. Do apologize.
No, it's fine. It's good because Wrestle Island are obsessed with VGS, so I'm not surprised that that's what entered your brain, to be honest. But yeah, that'll be happening at Infamous Wrestling Promotions in Runcorn on the 24th of June. But yeah, wrestling. So I have two brothers.
Hmm.
Um, I have an older brother. He was into wrestling before I was. And it's just the cliched story of the younger sister wanting to be into everything that the older brother was into. And it just kind of spiraled from there. He was watching it one day and it was the storyline where Stephanie McMahon was supposed to be marrying Test. And obviously Triple H interrupts and he's like, I've
Not aged
already.
well, has it?
And my 10-year-old brain was just like, oh my God, how could he do
Yeah,
such a.
yeah.
And that was it. I needed
What
to know.
test?
Yeah, exactly.
That fucking storyline. It's like, don't get wrong. I mean, I watched it. I think I was like 9 or 10, but I was like, oh my god, that poor Tess. But like, if you watched it now, you've never seen it. Fucking hell,
There's a lot back then that you would watch now and you'd be like, is this
horrifying.
okay? is,
It's
is this okay?
oh my god, like Katie Vick and just honestly, I could be all day naming just some of the horrific angles that have been in wrestling, especially in that time period. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think at one point I just wasn't really allowed to watch it. I had to
Yeah,
kind of
I mean,
sneak in.
thing is though, with that angle, obviously that was just like the starting point of
Mm.
like Man Helmsley era and how that's like spiraled and it's like real life now, and it's just
It is crazy. Like
little
that, you
things like
found true
that.
love from that angle.
Yeah, exactly. So it's insane.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, who were some of your favorites growing up?
Definitely The Rock. The Rock was the number one guy in our house. He's who we had posters of and stuff. I was always very big on Team Extreme as well.
Mhm.
I think for me, being a girl, just seeing Lita kicking ass and doing her thing and being so wildly different from the other girls that they
Yeah.
were using at the time. Yeah, I was a big Lita Team Extreme fan as well, and I was really into all those like TLC matches and things like that.
The amount of ladders that I used to climb as a kid, and just any time like my parents like something big came in, like all the cardboard, I was like, "Can I keep it? Can I keep it?" Use it as tables, and just think I was
Yeah.
like Jeff Hardy. I just look like a fucking idiot though.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
looks cool, but somehow we all look ridiculous when we put on like sleeves with all
yeah,
the
it's like how do they look cool? And I don't like doing like the Rock's elbow pads and stuff, and trying to do the eyebrow, but it, like I got a mild stroke or something. It's fucking awful, but I miss those days though. It just makes me happy just to be able to talk about them and just brings a smile to my face. But I want to ask, when did you know you wanted to become a wrestler? What inspired you?
Well, I think when I was young, sort of that sort of era, I was, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be a wrestler.
Yeah,
And then I kind of stopped watching it for a few years, just because, you
it
go through
happens.
things when you're growing up.
Yeah,
And then my younger brother started watching it when I was around 16, 17. And I just sort of started watching it with him, I guess. And then again, spiraled. And I was doing a drama BTEC in college. And I was getting to the point where I didn't really want to carry on with acting and theatre.
yeah,
And I was at that stage of, oh, well, what do I do after this? And I guess I just kind of had a fuck it moment of like, why don't I give that a go?
yeah, yeah. Live
And
once.
just went from there.
Where do you train?
I've not trained for a while. I'm sort of out of action at the minute, on a self-imposed hiatus, but I was training at Future Shock in Manchester.
What did you find to be like some of the biggest challenges when you did begin your training? Would you find like maybe like the promos, mentality, like the actual bumps, and just or was you actually okay with it?
The promos, because I was a drama student, the promos were kind of like that's what I was okay with because it was somewhat easy for me to go in and out of character, even though it took a while to figure out my character.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I'm not naturally an athletic person, so it was definitely that side of things. I don't know. I think I just kind of went into it with this mentality of, oh yeah, I'll learn how to do it and it'll be great. And it's actually a lot harder than people think it is.
Yeah.
Like even getting the bumps right is quite hard. Um, so yeah, for me personally, it was always things like rolls and flips catch me out again because I just
They look
don't think.
so difficult. Like I think once you get the hang of it, fine. But just like you sort of like watching Tough Enough or whatever, you're just like fuck that.
Yeah. It's I mean, a lot of people sort of with forward rolls and backward rolls, they find it just like straightforward and easy to do.
Hmm.
But for me, it was always sort of like a struggle. So it's definitely more the more athletic aspects that I kind of struggled with.
When did you make your? I love asking this question, by the way, but when did you make your official in-ring debut? Hello there. I've got a special announcement from my next guest.
Hello, this is Speedball Mike Bailey, and I'll be appearing on the What Do You Call It podcast.
Yeah, I heard, and that's my poor attempt at mixed martial arts again. Thank you. You have your brothers there, by the way, by any chance, at your official debut?
No, they weren't there. But they follow me and support me and stuff.
Yeah.
So my official debut was many, many moons ago. It was in for a company in Runcorn, which is now defunct.
Mhm.
And it was a multi-person match. I think it was like a battle royal of sorts. And even though it was one of those, straight in, straight out newbie kind of deals, it was kind of you still get so nervous.
Yeah.
But yeah, my official debut was in a battle royal.
Did you get any eliminations by any chance?
No, I did not.
No.
just me getting chucked out.
But it's a way to, sort of get your foot in the door and that exposure to the crowd in the ring and with your peers as well. So can't imagine it being all bad, but it's quite good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think battle royals and rumbles and stuff are a good way to sort of get over that and being exposed to the audience bit, because I think that's what a lot of new wrestlers are sort of afraid of. It's like they can't wait for it, but at the same time it is daunting going in front of an audience.
How they're going to respond to me, like, it's different when you're not doing it with the crowd and with people saying do this, do that, but it might be a different reaction to what you expect.
So I think it's a little bit less pressure when you know that there's going to be so many people in the ring, so it's not all on you.
Mm-hmm.
So you can sort of get over that barrier of being in front of an audience, and then the next time you know what it's like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One person I'd like to mention, someone you're friends with, Lance Rivera. I want to ask your first impressions of him.
So Lance.
So there's that smile. I'm just waiting for this now.
Right. So Lance was only 16 when I met him.
Yeah.
I don't really remember what my exact first impression would have been, but I know that for a time it was very much like, oh, this kid. Do you know what I mean? But he's always been incredibly talented.
Yeah, he is good.
So like those first training sessions with Lance, it was like, bloody hell, this kid's good.
Mm-hmm.
And well, obviously you see him now.
He's not shy.
He's not shy, no, and he is one of my best friends. Yeah, he was just like this sort of, I don't know, this good kid, I suppose, like this nice athletic kid. And then obviously as he's got older, we've got closer. So
yeah, I did like his tweet. Was it last week? Someone tweeted out, "Who's the sex best?"
Oh gosh, at the United game, yeah. But it's he took it and he ran with it.
Oh, 100%. I actually said that. Like, fair play to you. You're rolling with it, mate.
Honestly, what is it they say? All publicity is good publicity.
Oh, yeah, big time. And then like everyone from the North scene, just like, and the wrestling scene, just piling on that tweet. And why not embrace? I mean, maybe not properly, but
yeah, I mean, I think he did say he got a few followers off it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was good exposure at the end, I suppose.
It's nice. If anyone doesn't know necessarily what we're talking about, Lance Rivera is a wrestler, and he went to the Man United game. I think it was like last week for Europa League. They lost, and he appeared on the camera, and someone basically took a screenshot of it and said like, "Who's these sex pests?" or something, and it kind of went viral. So it was quite funny.
It was like footy banter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a Man City fan just was like, took a random screen grab of United fans and was like, oh, who are these sex pests? And one of them just happened to be Lance. So Lance did what Lance does and took it and ran with it. So.
No, it did make me laugh. Now we get to talk about Violent Gentleman Society. We talk about the merchandise. We talk about the upcoming event, Infamous, not Wrestle Island. But I'd like to know, how did you feel and how did you get recruited into VGS?
It was interesting because Tommy Jackson came up with the idea for VGS during the initial lockdown, sort of during COVID. So I was kind of watching from the outside, looking in, and I thought it was an interesting idea. At first, it was very sort of very Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, I remember seeing the video that did one of the original ones, like, the lads in the white shirts and.
Yeah. But it's been really cool to see them evolve into what it is now.
Yeah.
because it's just been so organic, their growth, just as both the gimmick and as performers. And they were talking about I was just talking to them one day, and they were saying about how cool it'd be to have a female member. And I was like, I'll do it. And that was basically it.
Like in
it
the
was,
China role, is it? Like with DX?
say that again, sorry.
Kind of like the China role in DX.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. And I think, once I said I'll do it, I think it was like, well, yes, actually, Stacey would fit this group.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just a case of how do we go about it then? And it was like, it was a couple of months planning to make sure that we got it right, me joining the group. But yeah, it's been really cool. We're all really good friends in real life anyway. And yeah, it's just really exciting to be able to join the guys, because this is very much still the beginning of their journey.
Definitely, yeah. Still early days.
I'm really looking forward to see where it all goes.
I like it. It's like I can tell, like when you're saying that you are all genuinely friends, that thing you just can't fake, that chemistry.
Yeah.
Especially when it's on screen and the photos and how you interact with each other. But I think with the growth as well, do you think you're going to recruit any more members into VGS?
I think never say never.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the moment we're quite happy with the 5 of us, but if anybody comes along who fits the bill and, suits us and is willing to represent VGS, and I don't see why we wouldn't recruit anybody else.
No, I get you. Maybe I can apply. Maybe.
Yeah, if you apply for the official channels, and we usually get back to you in like 7 to 10 working days. So
Fair play. Fair play. I like that. I want you to do some fancy booking. VGS against one stable. Who would you pick?
Any stable.
Any stable, past or present.
Oof. So many choices. I think my selfish choice would be the Elite.
I wasn't expecting that. I don't know why. I don't mean that in a bad way. Just not top of my head, I would have gone with the Elite.
I think because I'm a very big Elite mark.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I say it's selfish reasons, because that would purely be me going, I want to be in the same room as the Elite. Let's wrestle.
You'd have the night off as well with them. Like, I can imagine them being really easy to work with.
Yeah, and I think like quintessential, as they're now calling themselves, versus the Young Bucks would be pretty special. But yeah, I think if we go more sort of classic, I think the first faction that popped into mind was DX.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, full, probably McMahon Helmsley era DX, so like Triple H, New Age Outlaws, X-Pac.
Oh, Tory as well. Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
So VGS against the Elite or DX.
Yeah.
In the comments below, let me know who else you'd like to see VGS face, even maybe a current stable that may not popped up in the radar. Fancy booking or make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone in the UK, we'll take all comers, pal. So
there you go. I'm promoting. I'm becoming a promoter as well. Gonna ask the fun question.
Mm-hmm.
Dream dinner. You're the host, 3 guests for your party. This could be past and present as well. I get really good answers for this, and they're always different, and it allows you to maybe even take a break from the wrestling talk. Who'd you pick and why?
So this isn't just wrestlers, this could be anybody.
Anyone. It could be your neighbour if you want.
Well, I think I would have the one person that I could have, and this is anyone dead or alive, isn't it?
Yeah, anyone.
I think Sensational Sherry, for sure. Because I've done a lot of managing, and she was always someone who I watched. Like even before I started wrestling, I just, she was just fascinating.
Just fantastic. Like her and Shawn Michaels and Macho Man, and just but she'd always take bumps as well, and which was kind of unheard of those times. She had Miss Elizabeth never take a bump. But Sherry didn't give 2 shits. She'd climb up the ring and the cage, and Oh, honestly, she could handle her shit. She was great.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The second person I think would be Freddie Mercury.
Never been said, surprisingly. Brilliant
Yeah.
answer. I'm
I mean,
down with that.
first of all, I think he'd just be a laugh
Yeah.
to be around. But again, someone who'd probably also be so interesting.
Yeah, I'd love to pick his brain.
You know, I always think wrestlers should look beyond wrestling for inspiration as well.
Yeah.
And like, it's my opinion that like Freddie Mercury, the greatest frontman of any band of all time. So as a performer, he's someone you could judge, you could pick his brain, and you know the advice I imagine he'd come out with.
I can't disagree with you, by the way, on this. I just think it's a brilliant answer. And be surprised, 150 episodes and no one said Freddie Mercury. Fair play.
Third one.
Please don't say Lance. I'm living at the end.
Do you know what? To get soppy for a minute, it'd probably be my granddad. Who's no longer with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it'd be nice to have a catch up with him.
That's right. I was like, you're the host, and that's quite nice for you to say. That's quite a cool answer. I'm cool with that. So we've got your granddad, Freddie Mercury, Sensational Sherry. What would you be serving them, by the way?
Oh God.
You're gonna start planning it now, are you? After this podcast.
I don't know. I'm not much of a chef, so yeah. I can just about feed myself, let alone other people. Yeah, I don't know. I'd come up with something.
Takeaway.
Yeah. Why not?
Awesome. Stacey, is there anything you'd like to promote? Anything you want to say? Any upcoming shows you want to promote? I know we talked about Infamous, but anything else that you might have lined up that you haven't necessarily shared yet? The platform's yours, as we are now at the end of the interview.
So yeah, we've got as previously mentioned, Infamous coming up on June 24th. Infamous will also be at Halton Haven Rocks on June the 4th. That's the Sunday. It's all for a good cause as well for Halton Haven Hospice. Where else am I going to do? Kingdom of Wrestling on May the, just bear with me, I should know this off the top of my head, but I don't.
It's fine, I'll put you on the spot.
Kingdom of Wrestling on May the 20th.
Yep.
That's in Southport. I'll be there with Lance Rivera. And I think that's all that's immediately coming up is just Infamous and Kingdom of Wrestling. But I will say that May the 6th, I don't know when this is going out, but May the 6th, Summer VGS will be off the chain in Staffordshire as well. Yeah. If
they want to keep up to date with you and your wrestling career and your upcoming bookings, where can they find you on social media?
So I'm on Twitter at STACEY ROSE. I am also on Instagram at I am STACEY ROSE. Yeah, that's where you'll find me on social media. If you want merch, I was
gonna say that awesome t-shirt. Where did you get it from?
I believe. See, this is where Casey manages all the merch, and I just go, oh yeah, Casey's handling it, and then someone asks me, and I'm like, So this is really bad. VGS, because we have a shop Twitter now. VGSshop.bigcartel.com.
Awesome. I'll put that in the description below. Yeah. So that made me laugh. That's all good. Thank you for coming on, Stacey. We had to rearrange this, and I do much appreciate it as well, especially on a Sunday bank holiday, for you to give me your time. That does mean a lot. But all about VGS. Love the faction. Love every member, and this now actually completes every member from VGS appearing on the show. I think I was saying to Tommy and KC, maybe getting you on, but it might be chaos. So I'm gonna have to kind of work around it. But I think it'll be fun though. Fun chaos.
I think it'd be fun to have us all on at the same time, yeah.
It's just getting the time and the date when everyone is available, and then...
Oh, trust me, I know all about trying to get us all in the same place at the same time. That's not a wrestling show. But, yeah, I'm sure that at some point we'll be able to arrange it.
Awesome. It's going to happen. I'll make it happen. But, you guys haven't actually done a podcast together yet, have you? Or all five of you now? I know. I think you've done like 3 or 4, but the new 5.
I don't think I've not done a podcast with VGS. I don't think the original 3, Tommy, Christy, and Casey, might have done one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've not done one with VGS. So yeah, it might be cool to get us all together.
Awesome. We'll make it happen. Stacey, thanks for coming on. If everyone can subscribe to the account, that'd be awesome. Share this video, like this video, and follow Stacey, and follow myself on my social media. Handles in the description below. Much appreciated. But for now, everyone, I hope you have a great bank holiday weekend. Gutted Tottenham and come on Arsenal. We're playing Chelsea, and this will be out before the game. So, whoop, whoop. Take care, everyone. Peace.